So Luna, how old are you again? Where do you go to college? Anyone else in your family? Mom and Dad fired off questions one after another, just short of asking for a social security number. It was Memorial Day weekend, and I brought my girlfriend, Luna Davies, on a road trip with my whole family. We'd been together for 3 years, but this was the first time she was meeting my parents. I focused on driving while Luna fielded their interrogation. She was gorgeous, came from a well-off family, an Ivy League grad, and already a senior manager at her company. In the rearview mirror, I saw Mom and Dad nodding, satisfied smiles spreading across their faces. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. Glancing at Luna, I noticed a sheen of cold sweat on her forehead, her eyes darting around in a panic. She instinctively looked at me, a silent plea for help. I couldn't help but crack a smile. "All right, Mom, Dad, lay off, will you? You're gonna scare Luna off," my younger brother, Liam, teased from the back. His comment, thankfully, broke the mounting tension in the car. Mom and Dad just playfully tapped his head, their smiles a little weary. Liam was a senior in college about to graduate, and he'd been peppering Luna with questions the entire drive too. I have this annoying habit. Driving makes me incredibly sleepy. Dad told me to pull over so I could rest, and he could take the wheel. The drowsiness I'd been fighting instantly washed over me, and I drifted off. I don't know how long I was out, but I vaguely heard someone say, "Luna, look at my brother sleeping like a log." I blinked my eyes open. The sky was a muted blue-gray. We'd arrived at the lodge. "Did I sleep long, babe? You're just really tired from last night." Luna suddenly leaned in close, making me jump. The seatbelt clicked open. I saw the playful glint in her eyes. I didn't need a mirror to know my face was burning. I scratched my head, embarrassed, and managed a sheepish smile. Bang! The car door slammed shut. Liam stalked off towards the lodge without a word. I stared after him, completely bewildered. I took Luna's hand, and we walked into the lobby. We had 3 rooms booked, all on the same floor. Just as we stepped out of the elevator, Liam suddenly grabbed my arm. "Leo," he said, "it's been ages since we shared a room. I've got so much I want to talk to you about. Can we room together tonight, please?" The thought of sharing a room with Luna, right under my parents' noses, already felt a bit awkward. With Liam's plea and my parents' eyes now fixed on me, I nodded, "Sure." I looked up and saw Luna staring at me, her body leaning back slightly, a cryptic smile playing on her lips. Then, right in front of me, she shut her hotel room door. A chill ran down my spine. I followed Liam into the other room, my brain still buffering. I grabbed my phone and sent Luna a message. Her reply came back instantly. 10 minutes and 53 seconds. I sent back a question mark, confused. "It took you exactly 10 minutes and 53 seconds to message me." Even just reading the text, I could feel Luna's mock indignation. I patiently started typing out an apology. Liam came out of the bathroom, plopped down next to me, and stared unblinking as I texted. I turned off my screen and looked at him. A flicker of something unreadable crossed his eyes. "Bro," Liam said, his brow furrowed, his voice low and serious, "we're guys. We gotta have some self-respect, not be, simps. Can't just let someone. We're a normal couple, Liam. What's the issue?" My voice was tinged with annoyance. Sensing my displeasure, Liam slung an arm around my shoulder, leaning in. "Leo, don't be mad at me. I'm just worried about you. You know how some girls are, they get what they want, and then they don't appreciate it." I just grunted a non-committal and headed for the bathroom. "Leo, come on," Liam called, patting the empty space beside him in the bed after I'd showered. A small smile touched my lips. "Lights out." Liam started talking, and he didn't stop. He reminisced about childhood pranks, fretted about job hunting after graduation, then inevitably he circled back to me and Luna. "So, Leo, how did you and Luna meet? What does she even like about you?" At first, I answered patiently, but as I got sleepier, my replies became shorter. "Ask her yourself tomorrow," I finally mumbled, drifting off. The next morning, our itinerary was set. Hiking. I threw on a windbreaker, stuffed some essentials into a backpack, and was ready in minutes. We waited a long time. Even Mom and Dad came by to hurry us along a couple of times before Liam finally emerged from the bathroom. "Liam, you're wearing that for hiking? It's not very practical," I pointed out. "What do you know? You gotta look sharp for the hiking pics. Make sure they're killer." Liam shot me a sidelong glance. He was wearing a stylish slim-fit suit, no tie, a couple of buttons undone on his shirt. It undeniably showed off his good physique, and he'd even styled his hair. I shut my mouth. Babe, ready to go? Luna called from the hallway. I was about to tell Liam, but like a flash, he bolted past me and yanked open the door. Luna, hey, don't I look great today? Liam's eyes sparkled as he looked at her. Luna took 2 small steps back, her gaze flicking past Liam to meet mine. She raised an eyebrow. Babe, we're wearing matching outfits today. The windbreakers were, in fact, something she picked out for us. Liam turned, grinning at me. Bro, Luna looks way better in it than you do. My baby looks the best in anything, Luna said, reaching for my hand. I took it without missing a beat. We walked ahead, Liam and my parents trailing behind. I heard Mom trying to convince Liam to change. He snapped. I said I'm not changing. Can you just stop nagging me? The trail was pretty crowded, but hardly anyone was dressed like Liam. Heads turned as we passed. Liam then declared his attire wasn't suitable for carrying a backpack, so naturally all his stuff ended up in mine. During the hike, Liam kept calling out to me. 1 minute it was for water, the next for a tissue to wipe his sweat, then for more sunscreen. The sun was high and beating down. By now, my head was throbbing from his constant demands. For a moment, I didn't register him calling my name. When I turned, I heard him complaining to Luna. Luna, I think Leo is annoyed with me. He's not even answering anymore. Mom chimed in disapprovingly. Leo-chun, how can you ignore your brother like that? Dad's reaction was even stronger. Is that how you act like an older brother? I was stunned, feeling like I'd committed some terrible crime. I was about to explain when Luna squeezed my hand. With a half smile and a casual tone, she said, So you do realize you're being annoying, huh? Liam stammered for a moment. But my stuff is all in his bag. I didn't want to bother Leo. Is that so? Luna took my backpack, pulled out my things, and handed them to me. A flicker of triumph crossed Liam's face. Anything else of yours? She asked me. I shook my head. She then shoved the backpack into Liam's arms, her voice dripping with annoyance. What? Don't you have hands? Carry your own damn stuff. Liam's face went white for a second. Luna put my things in her own small pack, grabbed my hand, and pulled me along, leaving the 3 of them red-faced and sputtering behind us. Without Liam's constant Leo this and Leo that, our pace picked up considerably. Before long, we reached the summit. The panoramic view was breathtaking, instantly making me forget the earlier unpleasantness. Leo, can you take a picture of me? Liam's voice came from behind. This was classic Liam. Asking for a favor was his way of making peace. I sighed and took his phone. He struck pose after pose, clearly trying to use every trick in the book. Got it. Hey, Leo, take a bunch more. I need to pick the absolute best one, Liam complained. Then he turned to Luna. Luna, let's get a picture together. Luna didn't even look up. I don't really like having my picture taken, she said coolly. I'd never posted any photos of us on my social media, so Liam quickly accepted her excuse. Liam looked a little dejected. Oh, okay, he mumbled. Mom and Dad quickly stepped in to take photos with him. After they were more or less done, Luna suddenly said, Liam, take a few of me and your brother. Before Liam could reply, Luna had her arm around my waist and was striking poses. She'd lean in for a kiss, then hug me tight, even asking me to lift her onto my shoulders. Liam's face turned a sickly green, but Luna, seemingly oblivious, chirped, Take lots. I want to pick the most perfect one. By the end of it, my face ached from smiling so much, but Luna was clearly enjoying herself. Liam looked miserable, his eyes fixed on Luna. Luna, Liam whined. You're not taking pictures with me. Are you still mad about before? I already apologized to Leo, and he forgave me. I was a little speechless. That's what he considered an apology? Liam's voice started to crack. Yeah, Luna, Mom chimed in, unable to see Liam upset. Liam doesn't mean any harm. He's such a handsome boy, you know? Lots of girls are after him, Luna. Liam pressed, glancing at me. Is it because Leo doesn't want you to? Is that why you won't? He was trying to shift the blame to me. My dad immediately blew up. Leo-chun, what have I taught you since you were little? You need to be generous. Why are you always so petty and underhanded? People on the summit were starting to glance our way, some openly staring. I was about to explain when Luna stepped directly in front of me, her voice firm. I'm Leo's. The more possessive he is, the happier I am. She then turned to my dad. Uncle, Would you be happy if Annie took couple photos with other men? My dad choked, speechless. On the way down, Liam sidled up to me. Leo, you still mad at me? He asked timidly. I suddenly realized Liam's attention towards Luna was crossing a line. Liam, I said sternly, Luna is with me. You need to respect that boundary. It's a powder dismissal. I'm just helping you test your girlfriend, don't you get it? I never asked him to do anything of the sort. Anger flared up inside me. I pressed my lips together. I don't need your help, I said, my voice hard. Liam scoffed, a hint of a sneer in his voice. Yeah, right. You're just scared she'll actually fall for me, aren't you? My brow furrowed. Could he actually be serious about Luna? My pants. Liam suddenly yelped. Mom and Dad rushed over to him, all concerned. Liam was clutching the side of his left pant leg, standing stock still. Somehow, he'd managed to rip his suit pants. Well, don't just stand there. Take off your jacket or something and give it to your brother. Dad barked at me. With a rip, Liam's pants were even more revealing. It's easy to get scraped on the mountain, Liam said, looking towards Luna. I don't want Leo's jacket. If he gets hurt, I'll feel terrible. Luna's windbreaker is longer. I could just use hers. Luna's brow, already slightly furrowed, tightened. I have a thing about germs, she said coolly. I don't like my clothes smelling like other people. I'll wash it for you, Luna. Liam quickly offered. Luna hooked an arm around my neck. Babe, she said loud enough for everyone to hear. Some people are so dense they can't even take a hint. Liam, embarrassed, shifted his gaze to me. Leo, I pretended not to see, turning to chat with Luna. Liam, honey, don't beg him, Mom said, pulling a ridiculously bright, multicolored souvenir poncho from her bag and handing it to Liam to tie around his waist. Liam usually despised anything that tacky, but now he had no choice but to grimace and wear it. His attempt at a sophisticated, cool college guy vibe was instantly shattered. He just looked absurd. He quieted down after that, no longer causing a scene. But that was only temporary. Liam's antics weren't over yet. I took Luna's hand and walked ahead, deliberately putting some distance between us and Liam. To go with his suit, Liam was wearing leather dress shoes. Perhaps seeing us trying to pull away, the clack-clack-clack of his shoes grew more rapid. Liam, slow down, slow down. Be careful, you'll fall. Mom called out nervously. Liam paid her no mind. The inevitable result, huh? That hurts. Liam, you're bleeding. Luna, quick. Help us get Liam down the mountain to a hospital. Mom and Dad yelled frantically. We exchanged a look, then turned to see Liam sitting on the ground, a scrape on his shin oozing blood. His eyes were teary, and he kept whimpering. It hurts. His gaze fixed hopefully on Luna. I stepped in front of him, blocking his view of her, and calmly pulled out some antiseptic wipes from my pack. I knelt in front of him. Liam flinched, pulling his leg back. What are you doing? Disinfecting it. I dabbed the wipe on the cut. Liam yelped, tears streaming down his face. Leo, be gentle. So clumsy, can't even do a small thing like this right. Mom snapped, snatching the wipe from my hand and glaring at me. With Mom tending to him, Liam still cried out in pain. Then Dad took over. The two of them fussed over that tiny scrape, cooing and exclaiming. It was almost comical. After the wound was cleaned and bandaged, Mom and Dad again started urging Luna to help support Liam. If the earlier incidents hadn't happened, I might have expected Luna to help. So I said, Liam's not seriously hurt, and it's still a long way to the bottom. Everyone's tired. The moment I finished speaking, Liam started to limp dramatically, his eyes red-rimmed and glistening. Luna, he pleaded, his voice soft and watery. Will you help me, please? He looked like a kicked puppy, designed to melt hearts. Luna's reaction was unexpected. She quickly ducked behind me, her voice pitiful. Babe, someone's trying to harass me. Liam's face went from white to green and back again. Did Leo say something to you? He looked like he was about to cry again. Leo is just being overly sensitive. I know he's still upset about Emily, but I already turned Emily down when she confessed to me. With a silver tongue like that, did he really need to worry about finding a job? This wasn't even a subtle dig. He was flat out accusing me. Whether he was testing me or genuinely after Luna, his constant, deliberate clinging to her was something I couldn't tolerate. Liam, who's really hung up on whom here? I'd completely forgotten Emily Carter even existed. Impressive that you still remember her so clearly. A past, and you're an adult now. You should understand what boundaries are. You're still a student. Constantly hanging around your brother's girlfriend isn't good for your reputation. Luna rested her head on my shoulder and tooted. Just because Emily had bad taste doesn't mean I do. Between the two of us, Liam was left speechless. Have you got no heart? Your brother's hurt, can't you see? And you're here spouting all this nonsense. Dad roared. The curious and some contemptuous stares from other hikers felt like 1,000 tiny needles pricking my skin, raising goosebumps all over. I couldn't count how many times this had happened. Because of Liam, Mom and Dad had thrown me under the bus. Their constant scolding and belittling had, on so many occasions, ground my dignity into the dirt, and I would always stand there, face burning, head down, silently listening, just wishing for it to be over. My lack of confidence had followed me into college. I had a huge crush on Emily Carter back then, but I never even worked up the courage to tell her how I felt, not until I met Luna. I remember the third time Liam had called me in a panic during a date, and I was about to leave. She grabbed my hand and told me word by word, "Leo Shun, you need to put yourself first." Her words hit me like a ton of bricks. Mom and Dad had always drilled into me that Liam was the most important thing. These 3 years with Luna, she's been the one helping me bit by bit find myself again, teaching me that to love someone else, you have to love yourself first. So I wasn't going to let anyone walk all over me anymore. "Dad," I said, my voice even, "this is a public place. You shouldn't be shouting. Of course, if you don't mind being the main attraction for everyone's amusement, feel free to continue." He finally noticed the pointing fingers and staring eyes. A few people even had their phones out, filming the whole thing. Mom tugged his sleeve. He clambered up, his face turning purple with suppressed anger. Seeing the drama was dying down, the onlookers gradually began to disperse. Liam leaned against Mom, still looking completely harmless despite his injury. As always, I was the one getting reamed out because of him, yet the trouble never seemed to touch him. But why should it always be that way? A small smile played on my lips. I pointed at Liam and called out loudly, "My little brother's taken a tumble. He can't walk. Is there a hero in the crowd willing to rescue this poor, injured soul and help him down the mountain?" Liam's eyes widened in disbelief. "Leo? You? Leo Shun? What do you think you're doing?" Dad's voice shot up. I instinctively took a few steps back. Liam needs someone to help him, right? I'm just finding him some help. Luna, and you are right here, Dad said, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. I tilted my head, smiled, and then dramatically stumbled. "Oh no, I can't walk either now. Whoops. So tell me, Dad, who should she help?" "Babe, I'll help you." Luna immediately jumped in, playing her part perfectly. Dad was speechless. Then a few genuinely concerned hikers actually stepped forward from the crowd, offering to carry Liam. They were all big, burly guys, one looking about Dad's age. Liam naturally wanted no part of it. He shook his head, his face pale. The guys, clearly miffed at being publicly rejected, scoffed. One of them spat. Ugh, what a poser. It was the first time Liam had ever been insulted to his face like that. His lips instantly lost all color. To save a shred of dignity, he mumbled, "It's okay. I can walk by myself." I glanced back to see Mom helping Liam, who was struggling along. He shot me a venomous, hostile glare. I rolled my eyes and leaned close to Luna's ear. I could hear her breathing a little heavily. "Tired? Want to stop and rest?" Luna turned her head, a mischievous glint in her eye. "Babe, are you questioning my stamina?" I had a laugh. She sighed softly. "Babe, you finally smiled." Even though I'd successfully stood up to my dad for the first time, for some reason, a heavy feeling settled in my chest. I still felt awful. "I want to cut this vacation short," I confessed to Luna. She had put so much effort into planning this trip, all to make my family happy. "Okay," Luna agreed immediately, without a single complaint. I reached out and gently squeezed her earlobe. Back at the lodge, I moved my things into Luna's room. When Mom and Dad returned from settling Liam, I told them directly, "I'm ending our part of the trip. The rooms are booked for 3 days, so you can stay or head back, whatever you prefer." Liam, hearing this, immediately panicked. "Why? We were supposed to hang out for 3 days, Leo? Our family doesn't get many chances to travel together. Don't you want to spend more time with us?" I let out a cold laugh, ruthlessly exposing his charade. "You mean you want to spend more time with Luna, don't you? What kind of garbage are you talking? You got a dirty mind, so you see dirt everywhere." Now that there are no outsiders, Dad immediately regained his bluster. I glanced at the crestfallen Liam and stated flatly, "I'm not here to negotiate." Today had been exhausting. Luna and I decided to leave first thing in the morning. A little while later, Mom and Dad knocked on my door. Luna tactfully excused herself. They looked grave. Dad spoke first. "Liam likes Luna. It seems you already know. In that case, you should let Liam have Luna." "What did you just say?" I nearly choked on my own spit. "If Liam didn't like Luna so much, we wouldn't have come to you. Mom knows you've always let your brother have his way since you were little. Please, just this once, let him have this too, okay?" Mom's voice was softer, but her words were chilling. "Are you kidding me? You said it yourself. That was when we were kids. Does he have to have everything? What? Is Liam a beggar?" I knew Mom and Dad had always doted on Liam, but I never imagined they'd sink to this level of madness. Giving up toys and snacks as a kid was one thing, but my girlfriend as an adult? Dad's voice was stern. "Leo Shun, how many times have I told you? You need to be good to Liam." Mom and Dad had favored Liam our whole lives, yet somehow, through all these years, I'd never held it against him. Even after getting together with Luna, I'd simply started focusing more on myself. I could never understand why my parents were so cruel to me. An indescribable bitterness spread through my chest. My voice trembled. "Why am I not your biological son?" Dad cleared his throat uncomfortably. "Enough with the whys," he said impatiently. "If you still want to be part of this family, you'll give Luna to Liam." Tears welled up. I tilted my head back, desperately trying to stop them from falling. "Okay," I managed. "Then hurry up and tell Luna." Mom and Dad's faces lit up with relief, eager for me to act. My voice cracked. "I don't want this family anymore. You ungrateful brat. You dare defy us." Dad's face contorted with rage. He raised his hand to strike me. Luna intercepted his arm midair. She'd been taking Krav Maga for years. Dad was no match for her. Let go, he gasped. Luna only released him when I nodded. Dad, suddenly losing his support, stumbled and fell to the floor. He pointed at Luna and me, spewing curses. As Mom and Dad left, they were still muttering, saying the ugliest things imaginable. I held Luna tight, tears streaming freely, soaking her shoulder. She didn't say anything, just gently stroked my back, a silent comfort. After a while, my sobs subsided. I buried my face in her shoulder, my voice muffled. Sometimes, I seriously wonder if I'm not their biological kid. I'd suspected it since I was young. In college, the first thing I did with my first real paycheck was get a DNA test with my parents. The results were unexpected. I was indeed their biological son. That only deepened my confusion. If I was theirs, why do they treat me so harshly? The question that had plagued me for years was about to be answered. That evening, just a few hours after my parents' visit, Liam sought me out. I initially wanted to ignore him, but then he said, "Want to know why Mom and Dad favor me so much?" It was the one thing that had haunted me like a curse. I admitted it to myself. I desperately wanted to know. I followed Liam to his room. He didn't beat around the bush. "I like Luna. Give her to me." His entitled attitude made me laugh, a bitter, humorless sound. "And why would I do that?" "Because you owe me." I was completely baffled. When had I ever owed him anything? He then told me a story. When I was 3, I had a dangerously high fever. To rush me to the hospital, Dad had swapped shifts with a colleague. It was a rainy day. That colleague, on his way home from the shift Dad should have worked, was killed by a speeding truck. The man's wife ran off, abandoning their infant son. My parents, consumed by guilt, took the baby boy in and raised him. That boy was you. So to compensate Liam, my parents demanded I always let him have his way, always put him first. If I was just a child back then too, why should I have to bear the burden of all those consequences? It's all because of you that I don't have a family. Liam's voice was tight with resentment. You have to give me Luna as compensation. I narrowed my eyes. The truck driver killed your father, Liam. Why don't you go ask him for compensation? My parents are willing to be martyrs and spoil you rotten, but why should I let you have anything? My voice was rising. You want a family? Fine. I'll give you Mom and Dad. I wish the three of you a blissfully miserable life, stuck together forever. Liam's handsome face twisted in rage at my words. The truth, once revealed, completely extinguished the last flicker of hope I'd harbored for my parents. I was nothing more than a pawn they used to appease their own guilt. Later, Luna was nestled in my arms, fiddling with her perfectly manicured fingers. She suddenly asked, "How come you weren't at all surprised that Liam likes me?" She'd been remarkably calm through all of this. She arched an eyebrow, a smirk playing on her lips. "I mean, I'm gorgeous. It's perfectly normal for people to like me." I looked up at her eyes, nose, lips. She was undeniably stunning. I reached out my hand, drifting down her neck. Luna caught my restless hand and passed me her phone. "See for yourself." It was her chat history with Liam. They'd only connected on WhatsApp the day before, but he'd already sent hundreds of messages. Luna had barely replied, only responding when he mentioned me. Liam had described me as timid, old-fashioned, boring, uncultured. Liam had described himself as handsome, great physique, considerate, warm, and fun personality. He'd even listed examples to prove my shortcomings. He'd really gone to a lot of trouble. He'd even been messaging her during the hike, trashing me. After reading, I put down the phone and asked Luna, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" She gently tapped my head. "Babe, I'd known your brother for all of one day. If I told you he liked me, would you have believed me? Besides, he hadn't actually said he liked me. For all I knew, that's just his personality, right?" My frustration made me run a hand through my hair. Luna gently took my hand, her other hand weaving through my hair. "Babe, you know I love you for your sweet, slightly goofy side." Her eyes suddenly took on a mischievous glint. "And I was in a terrible mood all day yesterday, not waking up next to you." I tried to protest, but she anticipated my move, pinning me to the bed with a playful smirk. I had truly underestimated my brother's shamelessness. The next morning, my phone was blown up by frantic calls from my best buddy Max. I clicked the link he sent. Liam had actually photoshopped my face out of a picture with Luna, replacing it with his own. And because the original subjects, Luna and I, that is, were so good-looking, the doctored photo was actually trending on Twitter. The comment section was flooded with people saying how great Liam and Luna looked together. Someone had commented, "Your girlfriend is beautiful." Liam had replied with a blushing emoji. Max was cursing Liam out on the other end of the call. "That dude is desperate, man, going after his own brother's girl." I was still trying to figure out how to handle this mess. "Why are you up so early?" Luna mumbled, her voice husky, as she wrapped her arms around me from behind. "How should we deal with this?" she asked, after glancing at the post. Her fingers flew across her phone screen. A moment later, she announced, "Done." Luna, ever the pragmatist, had simply posted the original photo to her own Twitter feed with a caption, "The original, and he's all mine. Hashtag MyManLeo." It turned out the simplest, most direct approach was the most effective. Liam's Twitter was quickly overrun by furious users. He got doxxed, and in his panic, deleted his account entirely. Max was laughing so hard I thought he'd crack a rib. On the drive back home, we got a call from my parents. They said Liam had tried to kill himself. We'd left early that morning without telling them. They'd only called me in a panic when they found our rooms empty. When we arrived at Parkview General, Mom and Dad were sitting outside the emergency room, looking utterly defeated. The moment he saw me, Dad launched into a tirade. "Leo Shun, you've got a heart of stone. Ditching your parents and your brother for a woman." My face was cold. "You're the ones who didn't want me." "That was just sad and anger, Leo. How would you take it seriously?" Mom looked up at me, her face haggard. I hesitated for a moment, then took her hand. "You and Liam are both our children. We can't lose either of you." Her grip tightened. "Listen to Mom. Just let Liam have Luna." I instantly pulled my hand away, my voice chilling. "Mom, don't say another word. There's no way I'll agree to that. Your brother is dying because of her. Why can't you just let her go?" Dad roared. I snorted. "If you feel you owe him a debt, then you pay it. What's it got to do with me, you know?" Dad's eyes widened when he heard my response. Then perversely, he seemed to gain energy from it. "This is all because of you. Liam doesn't have a family because of you. You owe him." My jaw tightened. "Liam doesn't have a family because of you, Dad. If you hadn't switched shifts with his father that day, his father wouldn't have died." Dad's face went white as a sheet. His eyes looked vacant as he started pulling at his hair. The truth was, Dad had always felt responsible for Liam's biological father's death. He just couldn't bear the guilt, so he pushed all the responsibility onto me, making me carry the burden. Confronted with it, he simply broke down. Liam wasn't in any real danger. He'd missed any major arteries. It was mostly blood loss. He just needed a rest. What are you doing here? Liam asked when he woke up, looking around the private room and finding only me. You haven't changed a bit, have you? I said, looking at him with undisguised contempt. When we were kids, if Liam didn't get something he wanted, he'd hurt himself to gain sympathy and manipulate his way to getting it. He hadn't gotten any more sophisticated with age. Liam, stop being so childish. You might have been able to manipulate Emily Carter, but you can't get Luna. This is what you owe me. Liam stared at me, his eyes blazing with obsessive glint. You don't deserve any of it. In his mind, he was convinced I had destroyed his life. His entire existence seemed to revolve around competing with me. Suddenly, he just seemed pathetic. Before I left, I gave him a debit card. His support payments will be deposited into this account on time, I said quietly. Deep sadness filled her eyes. She opened her mouth, then closed it, saying nothing. The best thing for all of us was no contact. I heard later that Liam nearly got beaten to a pulp. Although his Photoshop tweet was deleted quickly, it had stirred up a lot of online discussion. Other people started coming forward, claiming Liam had stolen their girlfriends too, sharing screenshots of his manipulative DMs and two-faced texts. And there wasn't just one or two of them. They connected privately, found out which hospital Liam was in, and stormed in, screaming at him and roughing him up. Liam apparently tried to use my parents as human shields while scrambling to get away. Luckily, hospital security managed to control the situation quickly. Liam's face was reportedly swollen like a pumpkin, and he had various other injuries. My parents were also disheveled and got caught in the crossfire. I saw all this on a news clip online. The video ended with my dad slapping Liam hard across the face. Whatever their reasons, Mom and Dad had genuinely treated Liam like their own son, yet when faced with danger, Liam had only thought of himself, pushing them forward to take the brunt of it. Liam's scandal blew up. People online reported him to his university for moral misconduct. Subsequently, his pending degree was revoked. Now he really had to worry about his job prospects. Mom and Dad kept trying to re-establish contact with me, but I ignored all their attempts, apart from ensuring the support payments were made. They held on to a sliver of hope, believing I wouldn't be so heartless as to cut them off completely, until they heard from relatives that my wedding had taken place the day before. Only then did it finally sink in. I was never going to forgive them. Every year on my birthday, Mom and Dad send me birthday wishes. Too little, too late. I wasn't interested. Honey, where should we go for your birthday this year? Luna asked, snuggling close. Let's go to Hawaii. Because now I finally had someone who loved me with their whole heart.